Hi, Tom and Bailey. We love you
A lot.
a lot.
Anthurium lot.
And we're so grateful to be here. And I gotta stop. Bye.
Susie always told me that people had up heads and they have down heads. And I've never forgotten that. And I live by it every day. And I love you guys very much, and all of the Anthuriums love you, and we miss you. And we're so glad to be together, but not because of this.
And I hope I can pull it together to sing. Love you guys.
Okay. Hi, Wibergs. This is Suzanne. I just want to tell you something you might not know about my early dealings with Susie besides the DC trip. And that was she was instrumental with Crosby Scholars of getting our first board put together. She pretty much got everyone that we had on our beginning board because she was Brady's right-hand Susie. And so without her help, it would have been really difficult to get the Crosby program off the ground. And she continued to support us by making sure I got news stories in Ed Matters and got publicity in the district. So I don't know if you knew how instrumental she was and how much she supported me in the beginning and continuing all the way through the program. She always asked how it was going. And I appreciated that support so much. And especially because she became a personal friend as well as a colleague and a supporter in the job. And it probably, if it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't have had the nerve to even go after that position. And so I'm thankful that she believed in me enough to kind of encourage me and give me the push that I probably needed to go after that. So just want you to know how much she influenced me in my one of the most rewarding careers, one of the jobs, career paths that I've had. So she was a big inspiration and such a positive influence on me. Just wanted to share that.
So I was fortunate enough to meet Susie for the Tom Dooley play when I was like, I don't know, 13 or 14. And I'm so grateful that I had her in my life at that point because nobody likes being 13 or 14. And I remember one year Emma and I were taking Christmas cookies around, and of course we took some to Tom and Susie, and Susie wasn't home, but Tom was, and so we, go up to the door and he calls Susie to tell her that we had brought cookies, and he's standing there with the phone across the kitchen, and you just hear, "The Weckmiller girls!" And I feel like that was just how she made you feel. It was like you're the most important person in the world, and she could never be more excited to see you than that exact moment she did, and she hated to not see you. And I'm just so grateful for the decade of love and time and care and concern that she showed for I think everybody she ever knew, but especially me and my family, and just having belief that we could do anything that we put our minds to, and that by golly she was in our corner when we were going to do it. So I'm just eternally grateful for that friendship and that time. And the chance to have known her and loved her as much as I did. So that's my Susie story.
Okay. I don't even know how to sum up Susie, but we met her through the Tom Dooley play they did through our Statesville schools. My sister was a part of that. And, we just got to know Susie and David Bradley over time, and it wasn't long after that we started getting invited to 4th of July parties and all kinds of little events, and got to know Susie, and she turned this place into home for us. She really welcomed us into the community and made us feel like this was our home, and she filled that void as a mom and a second mom to both me and my sister, and just really brought so much joy into our lives and so much love and affection. No matter when we ran into her, it was always a good time. So, it's hard to sum up all that she was, because she was so much to our whole family. But yeah, we're gonna miss her a lot and love her. But,
So I'm Joy, and this is Kate, and this is Roy. And we met Susie I met Susie when she first came to East Elementary. She and Tom brought Bailey in second grade to enter her in second grade when they had just moved from California. And I was the assistant principal at East Elementary at that time. So that's where we met. And there was a spring fling going on that year. And Susie said, I believe we need to sing some songs. And so Beth Carter and Susie and I joined together. And our group was called the Dixie Hymns at that time.
Now you're just the kid.
Yes, we're trying to be
You're the
politically correct.
You're the mature version of the Dixie
Chicks. But anyway, at that time, we sang at the Spring Fling. That's how we got started. Kate and Bailey were our little chicklets, and one of
original roadies.
And yes, right, and our original roadies. They went with us everywhere and played the music and got everything ready. And one of our most famous songs, it was written about this guy right here because he is the original NASCAR man. And here we go. NASCAR man, she's married to a NASCAR man. Bum, 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 bum. See him when I can. Boo. We love Susie.
Wow. All right.
Oh, this is nice. So my favorite Susie story is when I was 17 and I was always the chipper kid. And we were in youth leadership in Statesville, and Susie knew that I had been struggling with some things in my personal life, and she stopped everything she was doing. She said, see me after the group. We've got to talk. And she waited what must have been 2 hours that day, and she just let me vent to her, and she listened and responded. And honestly, I think that day changed my life, and that time with Susie really gave me the motivation that I needed to keep moving and stay inspired. And I just want to thank Susie and her family. Thanks.
That's Zona to the side, Susie, trying to boss me around and everybody else, if you were wondering what that loud noise is. But I love you, and my first memory of you is when I met Bailey and she brought me over to your house, and she just immediately gave me the biggest hug, and I felt like I was at home immediately. And you always made me feel like sunshine and nothing was wrong anytime I was ever around you. And the more I got to know Bailey, the more I knew how special she was, and I realized that the more I got to know you. The reason Bailey is the way she is because of you, and she's just, I always say her best quality is that she always gives everybody a chance before she even meets them, and she has the best outlook, and everybody can take that from you guys, and you're gonna be missed, but I know people will feel you every day because you're just such a sunshine.
I'll just piggyback on top of that, everything Chelsea said, but with Bailey, her carefree, happy-go-lucky spirit comes from you and Tom, and she just has been a joy in our lives, and that's all comes from everything that you did, and your spirit will always live on through Bailey, and we will miss you and love you, and thank you for giving us a good friend in Bailey and sharing your life with us.
Yep.
We love you.
you.
Hi. Hi, Susie. This is your housekeeper, Zona Starnes. I'm so thankful. That you had your beautiful daughter. Because your beautiful daughter and my daughter became really good friends. And if it hadn't been for that, I would have never met you. I would like to say that all the times I came to clean, you had cleaned before I got there. And I know that's a fact now. But that's okay. That's just one of the things that you were good at. And you always loved people. Always. You're the best. And I'm gonna miss you. But I'm gonna look out for you. Anytime they need me, I'm gonna be there for them. Love you, Susie.
Well, my name's Ginger, and I met Susie unexpectedly at the pottery class at Create Statesville. And she immediately lit up the room when she walked in. And she said, we all introduced ourselves, and she said, I hear dead people. And I believed her. And I thought that was really cool, and I wanted to ask her more about that. And then a couple of classes later, found out she was just teasing me. But I thought that that was just such a fun way for her to introduce herself to our team and the other artists that were there. And she was so relaxing and funny. And when we realized that she was nearing, some final stages of her treatment and such, we made her the clay flowers and brought them to her, so we knew that she couldn't have real flowers, and it means a lot to see those here again today. So for Susie inspired me, and she encouraged me, and she still does that today. Her spirit lives on, and evidenced by all the hundreds of people that are downstairs right now. She touched so many lives, and that kind of energy and that kind of a love, it never leaves. So I'm confident that she is still lingering, and she's still about, and she will be. Her legend of grace and joy and love and hilarity will live on forever. And in my belief, I know that that's the kind of people that I'll bump into again one day. So I can't wait to see Susie again. And blessings to all of her family who are continuing to linger and have that legacy of love continue with you as well. And she was loved, and she is loved well. Thanks for having me.
Well, I have so many stories about Susie. She was my other mother since second grade, so it's really hard to come up with anything after so many years, but my most recent favorite memory of her was when we were in pottery class, and Jen, the instructor, asked us to go around and tell something about us, and she wanted us to say, what's your experience with art and clay? And so everyone's going around telling their experience, and it gets to Susie, and Susie pauses and she says, my experience with art and clay, I'm pretty sure I dated them in college. And everyone busted out laughing, of course, and it was such a typical Susie thing to say, but it caught everyone off guard, and I think that set the tone for the whole class. So I love that, and I love Susie.
Because now I like. Oh, that is good.
You want to go first?
All right. Hey, Suze. Hey, Tommy. Hey, Bailey. Because I know Susie will be seeing this as well. But it's good to be able to talk about Susie to everybody. And she was just a fabulous, fabulous person. As I tell people that to describe her, Susie had just the right amount of disrespect for everything. So she would make me laugh every time we were together. She was awesome. Yeah.
My favorite memory of Susie is her talking about being a rail bondsman. She had the wildest life and the most fun, and it never failed that she would, like I say, make me laugh.
Yeah. She was always into shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
We did a painting class with Susie, and we're in book club with Susie, and we love other things with Susie. Art,
Yeah, and I do yoga with Susie.
yeah, and it's a lot going on. But she would always just make us laugh. She would come up with ways of just, like I said, just come a little bit off.
But her serious side, her work with homeless people, her work with animals, and in such a big heart and so much love, and her faith and her actions speak volumes, and her love for her family is just so very, very deep. So she was multi-talented, but no one like her. Absolutely no one ever like her, and thanks for sharing
Yeah.
with us.
True inspiration for us all. So we're all going to be better people because we knew Susie.
Absolutely. 100% in our love to you all.
Yes.
And cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for this wonderful celebration. This is phenomenal.
Awesome.
Hey Tom, just wanted to tell you guys how much we love you, and we think about you all the time, sending prayers and thoughts. We wanted to tell you some great memories we had of Susie. She'll always be in our hearts. My favorite thing to tell everyone about is when I thought you guys were going to kidnap me. Man, I wish you would have. When you guys pulled up with Frankie and were honking the horn like, come on, Jack, come on, Jack. And I was like, okay, I'm coming, let's go. And then you're like, oh, see, it's Frankie. And I was like, aw, because I thought you were going to take me off and take me away. But just wanted to let you know how much we love you.
Hey Tom and Bailey, just wanted to let you know how much we love you, and how much Susie just impacted our lives, and how much I will carry her in my heart forever. And I'm just always grateful that God saw it, that our paths crossed. She was just an amazing woman that just did everything and was just remarkable. And I always laughed, and I used to tell her, Susie, I want to be you when I grow up. And I know that's not possible because she was truly one of a kind, but I will do everything I can to continue to share just that joy and love with as many people as I can that she had for the world. And we just will continue to lift you guys up in our prayers.
Hey, Tom and Bailey. I have a few memories I want to share. I love you guys. Susie's an amazing person. I can't thank her enough. That one day she met my aunt in the chemo room and just made her day so much better by meeting her. That was amazing. And coming to my wedding was awesome. And Susie getting a henna tattoo. I have told all my patients, all my new patients about this, that worry about their hair. That was just so amazing.
Still have pictures of her henna head on my phone. Yes.
I can't thank you guys enough for how much you've impacted my life and also Nick's. I love you. Sorry.
I'm Tiana. I'm one of oncology's oldest nurses. I've been with her since her first diagnosis until the end. And one of my most favorite Susie stories, and Tom and Bailey, forgive me if for this story, but she came in during her first treatment with her henna tattoo, and she had hidden male parts in her head. And the search for that was the most absolutely funniest thing I've done with a patient ever.
And I'm Emily Douglas, and I had the privilege of being Susie's oncologist. Similarly, the henna tattoos were hilarious, but I think it's just the small little moments and little jokes that Susie and you, Tom, would throw out in the just silliest moments of, getting a port accessed. Or I was just thinking the other day, when Susan, the research nurse, left, she said she was going to the Alzheimer's clinic to do Alzheimer's research. And Susie said, oh, well, we'll be there soon. And you said, yeah, but we won't remember. Just little stuff like that always brightened our day in clinic when it's always, a tougher time. You lightened the mood.
And I'm Carrie Rao. I'm a pharmacist that works in clinic with these two and with Susie. And I have many favorite memories of her just in the last year or so, but probably my favorite one is when I saw her for the last time. Actually, she came back into clinic and was already all smiles, even though she'd been through a hard time. And she gave me a hug and said, I'm just so glad to see everybody again. I missed you all. And then, true to Susie fashion, getting out of the wheelchair, she was a little bit weaker, so she made a joke about needing to incorporate some workouts into her routine now that she was back. So, like these two said, she was always lightening the mood and always a joy, no matter what was going on in life.
We love y'all.
Hi.
I'll go first. My favorite memory of Miss Susie is from when she came in the first time she got her henna done with me. I will never look at an Amazon And then also, when it comes to first learning about her singing, and when she told me she opened up for the Temptations, and she never told us before that of her lovely singing career with the two lovely groups that she was with.
My favorite Susie story, I have so many. The times that Susie hinted her head, but especially the one time she hinted a baby on her head. On the back of her head. If you know, you know. And especially Halloween at the clinic where she got her chemo. When she dressed as chemo Barbie and brought Frankie in his cowboy costume and put a tag on him and said, "I'm really a chihuahua under this costume." We loved Susie so much. And Emma actually has a story that she wanted me to share. Emma got to meet Susie one time when she came for a dentist appointment. She got to meet her while she was in the clinic getting her chemo. And Susie had her freezies on, her ice packs for neuropathy. And she was acting like a seal for Emma. She took her things and went "Arr, arr, arr, arr," like a seal. And then we had to tell Miss Susie about the seal, the stuffed seal that Emma got, that she named Susie after that. And that's Emma's favorite memory of Miss Susie. And we're gonna miss her so much, and we love her so much.
Hi, Susie, Tom, and Bailey. I love you infinity. And Susie, my favorite story from you is when you dressed up as Barbie Chemo. That was so lovely, and it made everyone smile and laugh, and I'm gonna miss you.
She brought a lot of joy to our clinic.
She did. And she was one that we always wanted to make sure we saw every time that she was there.
Yeah.
Love and miss you, Susie.
So my Susie made everyone laugh, but probably my most memorable memory of her was Halloween 2022 when she made a mom cry. She was Tom had fixed up this wonderful booth yet again for her to be the gypsy fortune teller. And we went down there because our house is kind of boring for Halloween. We went down there to spend the evening with them and watched her give fortunes to kid after kid after kid. At some point, the Hispanic family arrived with about a 15, 16-year-old girl, and Susie gave the most wonderful fortune to this girl, told her how she could see great things in her future and that she could tell she was such a caring, wonderful person, and she thought she might want to explore nursing. It was just wonderful. And the mom was standing behind her crying. And I cried too. It was a wonderful gift that she gave us all that night.
You know, lots of things. It was like you sort of wanted to audition to get to know Susie. Everybody knew Susie. It took me a while to get to know her. I didn't know her at first. Just all kinds of things. One story I really liked was when she was working for the school system and had to make the calls about weather and stuff. And there was a blip. They sent kids to school and had to send them home again. And Susie was getting all kinds of phone calls. And she got one from a dad and says, "You know how inconvenient this is for me?" And Susie finally just loses it with the guy and said, "You know, children are inconvenient, sir." and she said she finally talked him down on that. And the other was then at the end, when I was jogging, the last few months, she'd be sitting out on a little terrace there that Tom had made for him, and just talking about her work, taking the therapy dogs to the cancer center, and I just shared the phrase of Henry Nouwen's about being a wounded healer, and she hadn't heard that before, but it seemed to really resonate with her. And her last, years with the cancer, that's what she was, a wounded healer, healing, ministering to others out of her own wound, out of her own sickness, and we'll miss her.
We do. And Charles, did you want to say anything? Or should we?
No.
Susie always made Charles feel good about himself. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Susie and Tom and Bailey. We were so lucky that we were your neighbors, are your neighbors.
Hey Tom, this is Bobcat for you and Bailey. You and Susie were the one that gave me the nickname Bobcat, and I'll always be grateful for that. First time I met Susie, it was one of the most unique individuals I ever met, both of you. I was so fascinated about California. She motivated me, she inspired me, she challenged me, and you both were marvelous friends. Bailey and Emily grew up, of course, together, and it was just a journey unlike any other. And brother, you and I have been down the same path. It's hard to, sorry, but you went down the same path that I went down with Debbie, and you were there to give me your big bear hug, and I just got one from you today. So I just want to tell you how much I love you guys and how much my life is better because of you and Susie and Bailey. Emily sends her love, and we went down, we were blessed with the great years of marriage. So all I can say is my life has been better and because of you guys, and I love you all. Hope we can get together sometime soon, and I'll always be glad to be called Bobcat. So love you.
Hey, Tom and Bailey.
Hey, Tom and Bailey.
What a wonderful remembrance today. We are honored to be your friends and to be part of this today. To remember Susie, what a remarkable person, and what great memories that we have and how she touched our lives. And please know that you're our thoughts and prayers. And we'll always remember Susie in our hearts. And we love you very much.
A couple of memories I have, and I told Bailey one is when she thought pine needles were maybe for a craft project and not a school fundraiser. And also, I don't know anybody but Susie who would find an Olympic synchronized swimmer to come teach the girls a routine for Bailey's birthday one year. What fun that was. I remember having fun doing crafts in your kitchen for the teachers and baking things, and just it was always a ball. It was always a blast at your house. But speaking of Susie in the past tense is really hard. And what a legend. We all have a lot to live up to try to be anything like Susie. But,
thank you for sharing her with us.
And thank you for this special day.
So I think the first time that I saw Susie was when she was singing with the Dixie Hens. It was, I think, some sort of a fundraiser here in town. And of course, Susie stood out. She was just a lot of fun. And, so that's how I first saw her. And then I think it was maybe years later that I actually met her through Maggie Shearridge. And Susie, as everyone has said, was just a ray of light and a lot of fun and inspiration and just a sweet person. And I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to meet Susie and Tom and Bailey. And I wish them all the very best. Susie is with us in spirit, of course, and in our hearts. And so that's my Susie story.